The Path of Freedom, Vimutti Magga, of Arahant Upatissa, published by the Buddhist Publication Society, Sri Lanka. Salutation. Homage to the Blessed One, the Consummate One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Introductory stanza. Virtue, concentration, wisdom, and the peerless freedom. To these verities awoke illustrious Gautama. Chapter 7. The distinguishing of the subjects of meditation. 38 subjects of meditation. Now the teacher on whom one depends, having observed one's behavior, teaches one the 38 subjects of meditation, and again he teaches one the 2 associated subjects of meditation. What are the 38 subjects of meditation? Namely, the 10 kasinas, earth, water, fire, air, blue-green, yellow, red, white, space, consciousness, the 10 perceptions of putrescence, namely, the perception of bloatedness, the perception of discoloration, the perception of festering, the perception of the dismembered, the perception of the gnawed, the perception of the cut and the dismembered, the perception of the fissured, the perception of the blood-stained, the perception of worminess, and the perception of the bony. The 10 recollections, namely, recollection of the Buddha, recollection of the law, recollection of the community of bhikshus, recollection of virtue, recollection of liberality, recollection of deities, mindfulness of death, mindfulness of body, mindfulness of respiration, recollection of peace, the 4 immeasurable thoughts, loving-kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, equanimity, the determining of the elements, the perception of the foulness of food, the sphere of nothingness, the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception, method of discerning the qualities. These are the 38 subjects of meditation. The distinctive qualities of these 38 subjects of meditation may be known: 1. By way of meditation. 2. By way of transcending. 3. By way of increasing. 4. By way of cause. 5. By way of object. 6. By way of specialty. 7. By way of plane. 8. By way of ceasing. 9. By way of person. By way of meditation. How by way of meditation? Namely, 10 subjects of meditation fulfill assess meditation. 11 subjects of meditation fulfill the first meditation. 3 subjects of meditation fulfill the threefold meditation. And again 1 subject of meditation fulfills the fourfold meditation. 9 subjects of meditation fulfill the fourfold and fivefold meditation. And again 4 subjects of meditation fulfill the fourfold formless meditation. Which 10 subjects of meditation fulfill access meditation? Accepting mindfulness of respiration and mindfulness of body, the remaining 8 recollections, the determining of the 4 elements, and the perception of the foulness of food are called the 10 objects of access meditation. Which are the 11 subjects of meditation produce the first meditation? The 10 perceptions of putrescence and mindfulness of body produce the first meditation. Which 3 subjects of meditation produce the threefold meditation, namely, loving-kindness, compassion, and appreciative joy? Which subject of meditation produces the fourfold meditation, namely, equanimity? Which 9 subjects of meditation comprise the fourfold and fivefold meditations, accepting space kasina and consciousness kasina, the remaining 8 kasinas, and mindfulness of respiration, which 4 subjects of meditation comprise the fourfold formless meditation, space kasina, consciousness kasina, the sphere of nothingness, the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. These are called the 4 subjects of meditation. Thus, these should be known by way of meditation, by way of transcending. How by way of transcending? The sphere subjects of meditation transcend form, accepting the formless kasinas, the remaining 8 kasinas, and what remain of the 30 subjects of meditation do not transcend form. 3 subjects of meditation transcend the object, the 2 formless kasinas, and the sphere of nothingness. The other 35 subjects of meditation do not transcend the object. And again, 1 subject of meditation transcends perception and sensation, namely, the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. The other 37 subjects of meditation do not transcend perception and sensation. Thus, these should be known by way of transcending, by way of increasing. How by way of increasing? 14 subjects of meditation should be increased, namely, the 10 kasinas and the 4 immeasurables. The other 24 should not be increased. Thus, these should be known by way of increasing, by way of cause. How by way of cause? 9 subjects of meditation are causes of supernormal power, namely, accepting the formless kasinas, the remaining 8 kasinas, and limited space kasina. What remain of the other 30 subjects of meditation do not become causes of supernormal power. 37 subjects of meditation become insight causes, namely, all except the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. And again, 1 subject of meditation does not become insight cause, namely, the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. Thus, these should be known by way of cause. By way of object. How by way of object? 21 subjects of meditation have the sign as object. 12 subjects of meditation have their intrinsic nature as object, which 21 subjects of meditation have the sign as object, accepting the consciousness kasina, the remaining 9 kasinas, the 10 perceptions of putrescence, mindfulness of respiration, and mindfulness of the body. Which 12 subjects of meditation have their intrinsic nature as object, consciousness kasina, the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception, and the 10 objects of access meditation. Which 5 have neither the sign nor their intrinsic nature as object, namely, the 4 immeasurables and the sphere of nothingness. And again, 2 subjects of meditation have internally developed object, internal object, and again 2 subjects of meditation, internally developed object, external object, and again 1 subject of meditation, externally developed object and internal object, and again 21 subjects of meditation, externally developed object, external object, and again 4 subjects of meditation, internally developed object, internal object, prepared external object, and again 4 subjects of meditation, prepared internal object, prepared developed external object, external object, and again 2 subjects of meditation, prepared internally developed object, prepared externally develop external object, prepared internal objects, and prepared external objects. And again, one subject of meditation, internal, external, develop object, internal object. And again, one subject of meditation, develop internal object, indescribable internal object, external object. Two subjects of meditation, develop internal object, namely consciousness, kasina, and sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. And again, two subjects of meditation, internally develop object, external object, namely mindfulness of respiration and mindfulness of body. And again, one subject of meditation, externally develop object, internal object, namely recollection of death. And again, 21 subjects of meditation, externally develop object, external object, namely the 10 perceptions of putrescence, the 4 immeasurable thoughts, the 4 color kasinas, limited space kasinas, recollection of the Buddha, and recollection of the community of bhikshus. And again, 4 subjects of meditation, internally develop object, internal object, prepared external object, namely recollection of virtue, recollection of liberality, the determining of the 4 elements, and the perception of the foulness of food. And again, 4 subjects of meditation, prepared internally, developed object, prepared externally, developed object, prepared external object, namely the 4 color kasinas. And again, 2 subjects of meditation, prepared internally, developed object, prepared externally, developed object, prepared internal object, prepared external object, namely recollection of the law and recollection of peace. And again, 1 subject of meditation, internal, external, prepared object, internal object, namely recollection of deities. And again, 1 subject of meditation, inner developed object, inner object, outer object, sphere object, namely the sphere of nothingness. And again, 2 subjects of meditation belonging to the past, namely consciousness kasina, and the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. And again, 1 subject of meditation is of the future, namely recollection of death. And again, 1 subject of meditation is of the present, namely recollection of deities. And again, 6 subjects of meditation, prepared past object, prepared future object, namely recollection of the Buddha, recollection of the community of bhikshus, recollection of virtue, recollection of liberality, the determining of the 4 elements, and the perception of the foulness of food. And again, 2 subjects of meditation, prepared past object, prepared present object, prepared non-characterizable past future, namely 9 kasinas, the 10 perceptions of putrescence, the 4 immeasurable thoughts, mindfulness of respiration, mindfulness of body, and the sphere of nothingness. And again, 4 subjects of meditation, namely fire kasina, air kasina, the perception of worminess and mindfulness of respiration, have unsteady objects. Movement is their medium, but the after-image is steady. All the other 34 have steady objects, thus should be known by way of object. By way of specialty. How by way of specialty? 8 kasinas and the 4 formless objects of concentration are named special. The 8 kasinas, being true objects, are called objects of specialty in concentration. And because in the 4th meditation jhana, one reaches a special plane, the 4 formless objects of concentration become special. The 10 perceptions of putrescence and the perception of the foulness of food are called special perception because of color, form, space, direction, distinctiveness, combination, and coherence, and because of the impurity perception object. The 10 recollections are called special recollections because of their subtlety and because of attentiveness. The 4 immeasurable thoughts are called special because they cannot be surpassed. The determining of the 4 elements is called the specialty of wisdom because of its connection with the void. Thus these should be known by way of specialty. By way of plane. How? By way of plane. 12 subjects of meditation do not arise in the higher heavens, namely, the 10 perceptions of putrescence, mindfulness of body, and the perception of the foulness of food. And again 13 subjects of meditation do not arise in the form existence, namely, the first 12 and mindfulness of respiration do not arise in the form existence. No subject of meditation except the 4 formless ones arise in the formless existence. Thus these should be understood by way of plane. By way of ceasing. How by way of ceasing? 17 subjects of meditation seize the sign through sight, that is, accepting air kasina and the formless kasinas, the remaining 7 kasinas and 10 perceptions of putrescence. And again 1 subject of meditation seizes the sign through contact, namely mindfulness of respiration. And again 1 subject of meditation seizes the sign through sight or contact, namely air kasina. The remaining 19 subjects of meditation seize the sign through audition. And again 5 subjects of meditation should not be practiced by the beginner, namely the formless and equanimity. The remaining 35 may be practiced by the beginner. Thus, these should be known by way of ceasing. By way of person. How by way of person? A walker in passion should not practice the 4 immeasurables because of their auspicious sign. Why? A walker in passion is not good at appreciating the auspicious sign. It, the practice of the 4 immeasurables by a walker in passion, is comparable to a man affected of a disorder of phlegm, partaking of very rich food that is harmful to him. A walker in hate should not practice the 10 perceptions of putrescence because of the arising of resentment perception. A walker in hate is not good at appreciating it and is comparable to a man with a bilious ailment partaking of hot drinks and food which are harmful to him. A walker in infatuation who has not gathered wisdom should not work at any subject of meditation because of his lack of skill. Owing to lack of skill, his efforts will be fruitless. It, the practice of meditation by a walker in infatuation, is comparable to a man who rides an elephant without a goal. A walker in passion should practice the perception of impurity and mindfulness of body because these help overcome lust. A walker in hate should practice the 4 immeasurable because these help overcome hatred. Or he should practice color kasina because his mind attends to such. A walker in faith should practice the 6 recollections, beginning with recollection of the Buddha. Then his faith will gain fixity. A walker in intelligence should practice the determining of the 4 elements, the perception of the foulness of food, recollection of death, and recollection of peace because he is profound. And again, a walker in intelligence is not debarred from working at any subject of meditation. A walker in excogitation should practice mindfulness of respiration because it eradicates discursive thought. A walker in infatuation should make inquiries regarding the law. should hear expositions of the law in due season with reverential mind, and should honor the law. He should live with his teacher. He should heap up wisdom and should practice what pleases him of the 38 subjects of meditation. Recollection of death and the determining of the 4 elements are specially suited to him. And again, there is another teaching. When I investigate the subjects of meditation, I see their distinctive qualities. The 6 persons may, through discernment, be reduced to 3. If that be so, will there be difficulties at the beginning? There are 2 kinds of men who walk in passion, namely, the man of dull faculties and the man of keen faculties. A walker in passion who has dull faculties should practice the investigation of impurity in order to overcome lust. Thus he should practice and overcome lust. A walker in passion who has keen faculties should at first increase faith. He should practice the recollections. Thus he should practice and overcome lust. There are 2 kinds of men who walk in hate, namely, the man of dull faculties and the man of keen faculties. A walker in hate has dull faculties, should practice the 4 immeasurables. By this he'll be able to overcome hatred. The walker in hate, who has keen faculties, being one endowed with wisdom, should practice the meditation of the special sphere. Thus should one practice and dispel hatred. There are 2 kinds of men who walked in infatuation, namely, the man of no faculties and the man of dull faculties. The walker in infatuation, who has no faculties, should not work at any subject of meditation. The walker in infatuation, who has dull faculties, should practice mindfulness of respiration in order to dispel discursive thinking. Thus, the 6 persons can be reduced to 3. Therefore, there should be no difficulty. According to this teaching, the kasinas and mindfulness of respiration are developed further through space. All the activities can be fulfilled without difficulty. If a man is endowed with merit, he will have no difficulty in fulfilling all the excellent subjects of meditation.